It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. We are in the mothership, Studio 22, flying into the nether regions of all things. Lockdown, shutdown, closed down. You're out of a job. Dr. Fauci sucks. He's the biggest con man that's ever existed. In 2049, they'll have his head in a test tube, still speaking from the mantle, saying, wear your mask.
And
I don't
wearing
know why
a
I gave
mask
him a
while
little
he said
German
it.
accent, but maybe that is what he needs.
Maybe.
Jennings. My God, I'm sick of all of it.
We're gonna switch from a Brooklyn accent to a German Nazi doctor.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
That.
Like
he
one
looks
of
like
those,
one kind of.
like one of those Captain America.
Yeah,
deals.
yeah.
Dr. Fauci.
Doctor.
Oh, Chance, the soulless ginger rapper, is at the helm. He's flying the plane. And, of course, Justin, just in case Candace is out, he's here. Good to see you guys. Over at the pub, Hot News Natalie. Average News Natalie. The Texas legend, Steve Helms. And, of course, Party Foul Steve. You guys doing all right?
Doing good.
Yes.
Great.
I haven't seen you guys. I feel like I haven't seen you guys, even though we spent the weekend together.
I did not spend the weekend with you, but I have missed you.
Yes, you did.
No.
In my mind. In my mind. Trust me, you did.
I missed you.
You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of politicians. I'm sick of Austin politicians. I'm sick of people who don't get anything done. Why is it that the Texas House is run by Republicans in Austin and they've never passed a pro-life bill? Never. They don't.
They never
No.
I've not heard this. That's terrible.
It's terrible. You know why? Because they're all swamp creatures. Swamp creatures, I tell you. So I was scheduled to speak, and I wasn't going to blow this thing up. Now I am, because they pissed me off. So I was scheduled to speak tomorrow at the Capitol, and some of the representatives from Texas, from the great state of Texas, they didn't like the idea. Every time the GOP asked me to come speak, it's not a campaign event. They just asked me to come speak on an issue.
Right.
Somebody gets their britches in a wad because I'm a candidate who's running against a sitting Republican governor. And they don't like that. They don't like that they're giving me that platform, right? So this is about constitutional carry. That is an issue that is very near and dear to me. I care a lot about that issue. And yes, I'm for it, with some caveats that need to be put in place.
Sure.
There's aspects of it that I don't like, such as the age at which you can purchase a firearm. That needs to be lower. But these,
what is it in Texas? Is it 21?
Well, with constitutional carry, they want you to wait till you're like 21 years old, 21 years old. No,
You can go join the armed forces and go
Right.
you
can
can
die
the
for
world
your
and fight for your country and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not into all that. So anyway, it's a shame that there's 18, 19 states that have constitutional carry, and I'll tell you why we don't have it, because we got a dude sitting there in the governor's office in the mansion who makes a little money from the concealed permits that get purchased. But I won't get into all that stuff, okay? And there's me just throwing darts. But anyway, they don't want me to come speak. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm having my own campaign rally at Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Nice.
Ice House, 6th Street, Austin, tomorrow at noon. Come hang out with me. We're going to talk about the things that I want to talk about, because this is my rally, damn it. And then we'll go crash the party at the Capitol.
Nice.
We'll walk over and we'll crash the party. And look, there's some really good people. I bowed out of the thing. When they asked me, I bowed out because it's the closest to getting this constitutional carry passed in 25 years. I don't want to be a hindrance.
Right.
I just don't like the motivations that these people have in blackballing me every time I'm involved in a deal. So they don't know who they mess with. They don't know.
You only blackball the obvious threats.
Well, that's exactly right. And so the people who woke up yesterday morning and lit the flame, and I won't call names, it's out there on Twitter, the people, the rep who started the problem, guess what? She wanted the spot to speak, right?
Oh.
Yeah, ain't that something? I'm again it. I'm a ferret. I'm again it.
Ridiculous.
She wanted the spot to speak. So now we're going to hold our own little deal, and we're going to go over there. And who knows? Party in Austin tomorrow.
You should send her an invite.
And then somebody, and I won't say who, a friend said to me, "How many testimonies have you given in Austin?" And I said, because I brought up this whole pro-life thing.
Oh yeah.
How many times have you testified? And I said, how many times have you testified? Because you haven't done any good. So quit telling me to be a sheep and play your ba-ba bleeding games these political games that amount to nothing.
Chad, I wish you would stop beating around the bush and tell me how you really
This
feel
is how
about
I feel,
this.
damn it. I'm not going to play your political games. I'm just not going to play that. And these people are like, oh, so you think testifying doesn't count for anything. You know what an activist is? An activist is somebody who is worthless, but they like to use a term to make themselves feel good about themselves. That's what an activist is. So get something done. This whole system is corrupt.
Yeah.
We got a special guest who's going to be on the show today. We're going to show you just how corrupt the whole damn thing is. Listen, guys, I've warned you about home title theft, where cyber thieves remove you from your home's title and become the owner. I said you better get home title locked because it's coming, and you don't want to wake up to this nightmare. If you're on Facebook, that big breach is already here. Facebook had 500 million accounts exposed to cyber thieves, and according to a retired FBI cybercrime expert, everything thieves need to take over as the new owner of your home was leaked. Name, address, personal information, it's all out there. The thief forges your signature on a quitclaim deed stating you sold your home to them. He's going to leave you in debt or even have you evicted from your own home. So you got to do what I did. You protect your home's title with Home Title Lock. Go to HometitleLock.com, register your address to see if you're already a victim, then sign up for 30 free days of protection during this high-risk breach. Again, go to HometitleLock.com, use promo code RADIO. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code RADIO, and we'll be right back. So last night we were at an event in Dallas celebrating a company that is really doing a great thing. They staff respirational therapists and respiratory therapists and nurses, right? So do a great thing. And back when we had the Snowmageddon here in Texas and everything was shut down and iced over and everything that we weren't prepared for. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, ERCOT. We sold a shirt that said, I survived Snowvid 21.
Yeah,
right?
I remember that shirt.
Sold a bunch of those things, and proceeds of which went to cloud-covered streets.
You took some heat for that, didn't you? Because people were like, oh, you're making a profit off of this.
Every time we give things to charity, people give us heat. They always like, what is the percentage? What are you doing? Why aren't you giving your left nut?
Yeah, right.
They always want to say, well, you're not buying it. Shut up.
Yeah. You're
not buying it no matter what.
Yeah, what are you doing for charity?
Yeah, we're going to give 100% of your $0. How about that?
Yeah.
Damn activists.
But we activists. I want to be a de-activist. But we do that from time to time, and it's a pain in the ass, honestly, because of the crap you get. You can't do anything good for people without catching the Karens and the Chads, right? So that's what you get. Yeah. But anyway, we raised a lot of money for the homeless, and in cloud-covered streets, we did a whole lot with them. But this group came in and bought a ton of shirts from us, and so we had a special shirt made for them. This is the shirt right here. It's the I Survived Snowvid 21. We put their logo on the back, Angels.
Oh, sweet.
And they put their little logo on the thing. So there was a bunch of them there last night. We partied, and relax, an angel has arrived. So God bless those nurses, and especially right now, and respiratory therapists, all these people with the COVID and everything that's going on. It's crazy. Have you gotten the vaccine? Are you getting the vaccine? Did you do the vaccine? Are you a vaccinator?
I have not. I was on a list, and then
be glad you didn't.
I decided. Yeah, I decided I was going to wait a little bit longer.
Anybody? Anyone?
No.
Have you vaccinated?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
So I don't know if y'all realize this. They're investigating Johnson & Johnson's vaccine now.
Yep.
Because it's causing blood clots. And now they're saying that this probe may likely take a matter of days. Now, I don't want to vaccine shame anybody. And I don't want to say I told you so.
Right.
But damn it, people, y'all are pumping this crap into your body that has not been tested. I mean, you don't even know what's going in there. This thing was developed in less than a year.
Yeah.
And these people are lining up to do it. And now they're saying, hey, if you're really nauseous and you got a headache and you got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine,
maybe
good
go
knowing you.
I went to a pharmacy last week, and the pharmacist said, hey, do you need a COVID vaccination? I've got one more left. And I said, is it still, if you get it, do you still have like a 99% survival recovery rate? Yes. And how long has that vaccine been out? Not very long. I'm good.
Yeah. They estimate a 60% effectiveness rate with the vaccine.
Right. And
I would rather take my chance with a 99%
Thank you. I'm
Now,
not
look,
an
if you're 100 years old,
anti-vaxxer.
I get it.
I'm okay with vaccinations. I get it. I'm not, I just want to wait and just see.
I think you can hold two simultaneously in your mind. You can hold two separate thoughts. One of which is it is a miracle of medical science to produce a vaccine in less than a year, and it's amazing and wonderful, and God bless the people who did it. Also, it's only been a year, and vaccines, they take time to work out all the bugs. It worries me. I think
it should worry you.
For now, I'm going to stay away from it.
Johnson & Johnson. First of all, it's called a vaccine trial. That right there ought to stop you. And you ought to go, maybe I don't want to be a guinea pig.
Yeah.
Nikki Haley, speaking of guinea pigs, she says she's not going to run for president in 2024 if Trump does. Well, no shit. Because you don't want to lose, honey. Oh, my gosh. She came out and she said we should have never supported Trump. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody trying to be distanced and relevant until...
Did she say that we should never have supported him in the first place, or that once the election thing happened, that was where she... Because she was pro-Trump before that, right? She was
pro-Trump, but she was also pro being in that position.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's... she said they'll have a conversation about it. California teachers suspended for berating students during a Zoom class. You got this clip over there, Chancey? Play it.
The haters did.
Oh, that's a good one. I feel berated.
Wow.
That
was
let's do it again. Do it.
The haters did. They are forced to bring awareness to the situation that they are in because other people put them in that situation.
My question is, in your case, where is the white student union? Because we need all races
You don't
equality.
need a white student union, Jake. You get everything.
If your parent wants to talk to me about their profession and their opinion on their profession, I would love to hear that. I know very little about anything else in the world other than education, okay? However, if your parent wants to come talk to me about how I'm not doing a good enough job in distance learning based on what you need as an individual, just dare them to come at me. Because I'm so sick to my stomach of parents trying to tell educators how to do their job. I have never once gone to a doctor's appointment and tried to tell my medical health provider how to treat me. You know why? Because I know nothing about that. I didn't get my degree in medicine. I am going off. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That bitch is bipolar.
Wow.
Fired. Let me tell you, parents are the very first educators of their children in their life, period.
And you should question your doctor.
You should question your teachers and your doctors.
The fact that she compared herself to a medical doctor is funny to me.
She said she knows very little about everything, which I feel like that was the one true statement.
She was being honest, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she got the vaccine. maybe it's just affecting her brain. She's turning into a werewolf right there.
Good night.
Old Jace that was asking the questions, he was a straight A student. After that, he got a B.
Of course he did.
It's true. It's true. She said it was a computer error. Apparently, she doesn't know how to operate those either.
No.
Yeah. Well, so she was yelling at him about something about being white and...
Well, they said that there needed to be a white student. You don't need a white student union.
You get everything.
Is what was saying. So anyway, I'm so sick to my stomach of parents trying to tell educators how to do their job. Said the teacher exploded at one student who called for a white student union. You don't need a white student union, Jace. You get everything. Said her outburst was triggered by a question he wrote in a Zoom chat box after the school announced the creation of an Asian student union. I wanted to make a comment in the Zoom text box, not disrupting the class, is what he told Fox News. I commented, why do some races get student unions but others do not? Which, by the way, if you watched the Masters golf tournament over the weekend, and Matsuyama won it, and I mean put on a clinic on how to play golf, and just won it handily, this Asian hate's got to stop because nobody clapped for him. I mean, nobody applauded him at all. No, I'm just kidding. The guy got a standing ovation because we hate Asians. Right? That's just how racist we are in this country.
I I did think it was kind of funny, though, when they presented the jacket.
Yeah.
You got a fist bump. Like, my God, dude, you're 2 foot away. Shake that man's hand.
Yeah.
He won the Masters.
Virtue signaling, baby. Virtue signaling. That's exactly right. So anyway, she got suspended for berating the students. She lost her shit. I've had teachers that lost their shit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a school teacher, because I would lose my shit.
I worked in a school and I lost my shit on a couple of students. I get it.
Yeah. I had a 7th grade teacher, Mr. Rogers. And I remember one time in the bathroom, he cornered Vern Harrington and said, "Come at me. Come at me. Throw the first punch." That's when you got educated.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I had about 15 teachers that kind of went off on me a few times, maybe more.
I had a young teacher in middle school who lost it one day. Just lost it. She was hot too. She was hot when she was angry.
Hot for teacher.
Critics erupt on Fauci, biggest con man that's ever been foisted on humanity. Fauci, after he says to not eat indoors even after getting the vaccine. Play that clip, Chancey.
Eating and drinking indoors in restaurants and bars, is that okay now?
No, it's still not okay for the simple reason that the level of infection, the dynamics of infection in the community are still really disturbingly high. Like just yesterday, there were close to 80,000 new infections, and we've been hanging around 60, 70, 75,000. So if you're not vaccinated, please get vaccinated as soon as vaccine becomes available to you. And if you are vaccinated, please remember that you still have to be careful and not get involved in crowded situations, particularly indoors where people are not wearing masks.
Yeah, it won't be long. They'll be wanting you to wear like 5 masks.
It's coming. Yeah. I don't even think he's a good con man. Like, because he can't keep his own lies straight.
No, it's Wheel of Fortune. You just spin the wheel on whatever the response is that day. The guy's a joke.
Oh, and also, I get paid for every vaccination.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Leinart, former NFL quarterback, he came out and said, "Get off the airwaves." He tweeted that. Good for Matt standing up.
Hey, can we get like a check instead of a shot? Like, I'm not going to take a vaccine, so send me the money, because we're paying for all those vaccinations.
Yeah.
Or our kids and our grandkids and all them. Well, I'm not actually, but somebody is.
You have to pay taxes.
Have y'all been going into when you go into restaurants, stores that it's mask optional or required, are y'all starting to see more and more people not wearing masks?
Yeah.
Because I have noticed that at first when they first lifted that, anybody who didn't have a mask on, it was kind of like a brotherhood. You were like, "What's up? What's up?" But I am seeing people starting to buy less into the fear.
Yeah.
Listen,
guys, the bottom line is, you got to open this thing up. We got to open up. There's issues that are going on in the state of Texas. Mm-hmm. Forget the rest of the country. I'm thankful we're in Texas, because we do have freedoms here that just a lot of these states don't have. I can't imagine living in a place like Michigan or California or Illinois or something like that right now. But thankfully, we're in Texas. But you know what? The problems aren't solved. There are still people out there. Still, you say, "Well, Abbott, he undid the mandates and he said this about masks and blah, blah, blah." No. I promise you, we still have a major issue going on in this state. The rest of this episode, I got a guest. We're going to talk about what's going on. You know how I like to create problems that people didn't even know we had? Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, they're out there.
Get ready.
People are still losing their businesses. They're still losing their livelihoods. They're still having to go to court. They're still having to deal with this crap that was created from all of this mania, and it's pure insanity. Let me tell you what happened. I'm just going to tell you. I've already told you, but I'm going to tell you again. They had to create a scenario whereby we could have a potted plant for president.
Whew.
They had to create a Zoom culture. That teacher's on Zoom. They had to create a Zoom culture so they could have a Zoom call president.
True.
Bottom line. They had to have something where this guy can't give a State of the Union address. They had to create this thing where he's completely distanced from everything. They had to create a scenario whereby there was mail-in ballots. They had to have something they could push mail-in ballots. Coronavirus was perfect for this. It was perfect for that, because now people don't go to the polling place, right? They don't go to vote in person. And you know what they did? They rigged the election.
I like how you beat yourself
Yeah.
Never
I saved Justin some time on the
Good job,
edit
Governor.
later.
Never let a crisis go to waste.
No, 100%, dude. And this guy right here, he's the problem. Fauci, punk.
How are so many people still buying into this, though?
No, they are. They're sheep.
That part to me is so scary.
They're sheep.
Yes.
Sheep. Somebody asked me the other day. I was at a big barbecue, a crawfish boil, and there's 1,000 people out there. And I was talking to people, we were shaking hands, kissing babies, and pretty girls. And they said, "Why are you running?" And I said, "Look around you. This is what you want, right? Mm-hmm. People out here having a good time, enjoying music in the sun, socializing, having a beer,
sucking the heads.
Yeah, sucking the heads,
living life.
And I was like, we don't have that in other places.
Right.
We don't have that. We got to open this state up. Hey, guys, protecting my family safely is my number one priority. Taser. I love my taser. Believes that safer self-defense is better self-defense. You don't have to shoot anybody, Jennings. You don't have to shoot them. You can get a taser. Taser's line of non-lethal self-protection devices are small and lightweight enough to carry with you or in your glove compartment or a purse, powerful enough to incapacitate an attacker for at least 30 seconds. Guns, pepper spray, they carry unnecessary risk for you and those around you. Taser products are safer and easier to use. They use the electrical charge that immobilizes those attackers for 30 seconds, allowing you time to get away. Send emergency dispatch to your GPS location. Your taser will do that. It's awesome. More than 237,000 lives have been saved with the Taser network of devices. Start protecting yourself and your family with Taser today. You don't even need a permit in most U.S. states. For a limited time, take advantage of Taser's best offer available and save $60 on the Pulse Plus bundle with a Taser Pulse Plus device, cartridges, and holster at Taser. That's TASER.com. $60. You'll save it right now. Use promo code CHAD. I spell it, Chad. Taser.com. Be right back. All right, so you've heard me talk about 51%. You've heard me talking about opening Texas and specifically bars, venues, places. When I say 51% that serve alcohol is 51% of their business, right? So you have a lot of the bars and venues, for instance, in Fort Worth where I live, that they put kitchens in overnight so they could stay open. And if you go in and order a beer, they'd give you a chicken tender or something like that to go with it so they could say that they were serving food. So over here in the hot seat, got my buddy Chris Pallone. Chris owns Rail Club Live in Fort Worth. And they put you through the ringer.
Still are.
Still putting you through the ringer.
More than ever, yes.
So how did the whole thing start? When they decided to shut things down, how did you take that? What did you do? What got you in trouble?
Absolutely. The first time they shut everything down back in March, everyone complied. No one knew what this was going to turn into, right? They opened us all back up in May of 2020, just to be shut down June 26, 2020, okay? Greg Abbott took the stage. He said, we're going to shut down the bars, but that was a lie in itself. Mm-hmm. Greg Abbott never closed down the bars. He closed down the 51% bars, which is primarily made up of small business owners, VFWs, Elk Lodges, American Legions, and other nonprofit veteran organizations that literally have a liquor license to raise money for veterans.
Yeah.
So not only that, this had nothing to do with our right to sell alcohol. Executive Order GA-28 literally made it to where the only people allowed on 51% property is the owners. Your employees, so all of our guitar schools, our churches, our events that we're doing, nothing. And that goes for VFWs too. All the veterans that come in there for counseling and services like that, not even allowed on the property. It's like me coming into your house and telling you, grandma's got to go, right? So they basically took over our property without compensating us for doing so. It's Fifth Amendment.
Yeah.
Prior to owning the Rail Club Live, I was a hazardous materials specialist for 10 years. I was an emergency responder. I served, I assisted in the Ebola decon and things like that. So I'm extremely experienced and used to make these plans for government officials and states.
Yeah.
So we came up with the idea, considering, mind you too, that I have the same liquor license that Hooters does. I have the same liquor license as Applebee's. It's just I don't sell enough food in order to be considered a non-51%er. And unfortunately, it doesn't even have anything to do with food. It could be concert tickets. It could be a lap dance. It just cannot be food. It just cannot be alcohol. Mm-hmm. So What we decided to do on July 4th, we hosted the Rail Club Tea Party is what we called it. And I put in a safety operating procedure as a plan to demonstrate to the state of Texas a safe way for the bars to be able to reopen. So I have an 800 capacity venue, put 40 people in there. We squared everything off, hand sanitizer, temperature checks, masks, the whole 9 yards. Here's the kicker. We did not sell alcohol and we did not sell a cover at all. It was free. It's 100% free. It was a demonstration. TABC shows up. It's Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, the Gestapo of Texas, shows up and literally suspends my liquor license on national television for peacefully assembling in a building that I own and operate. To make matters worse, the media painted us out to be monsters. You know, they didn't publish our safety procedures or things like that, of course. Chris Blow defies government in order to host July 4th party. No, that couldn't be further from the truth. The whole plan was to demonstrate safety procedures. Because of that, a spark ignited a forest fire, and I became the spokesperson of all the 51% bars throughout the state of Texas, in which July 25th, we hosted Freedom Fest, in which 797 bars stood in solidarity with me. We opened simultaneously, did the same exact thing with safety procedures. They sold alcohol. My bar did not. And every bar had the choice of choosing a charity to donate the proceeds to. So not only did we get handshakes and high fives across the board from healthcare officials and the city of Fort Worth even, we donated all to charity. So as a result of that, we had, for lack of a better term, we had them, right? We had the state of Texas right then and there. A week after Freedom Fest is when TABC released their amendment to the food and beverage permit, right? You were talking about them throwing in restaurants overnight and things like that.
Yeah.
That's a trap in itself. Okay, it was a massive cash grab. If the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission cared about small business owners as much as they so boldly claim, they'd be pitching safety operating procedures to the state of Texas, not food and beverage permit that costs the bar owner money and sets them up for failure. As a matter of fact, not only that, I mean, you're a smart guy. I think, and I think most people can understand this. As a hazmat specialist, and even just as with no experience, you know, it doesn't matter. This is the first time in the history of the world, I think I can quite confidently say that this is the first time that public safety boils down to the gross revenue generated by hot dogs versus the gross revenue generated by Miller Lights. It's not the quantity of hot dogs that you're selling, it's the amount of money, right? So in what world do we live in does that mitigate a virus? And as I said before, it doesn't have to be hot dogs. It doesn't have to be food at all. It could be concert tickets. It could be a lap dance. I could wash your car as long as I'm generating more money, not selling alcohol. So that's what it is. It's a massive cash grab. Not only that, it's important that everybody understands that the bar business pays more in commercial taxes than any other industry. And it's almost 15% monthly, right? So that begs the question, why would they want the bars shut down? Or the 51%ers shut down? Problem is, if you notice, 51% of small business owners, VFWs, things like that, the corporations are the ones still open. Alcohol sales are all public record. What I'm telling you right now is not conspiracy. It's public record. We can prove without a shadow of a doubt that corporations made millions and millions and millions of dollars because our patrons didn't quit drinking. They went someplace else.
Right.
So while we're getting persecuted to the nth degree, suspended, followed home, dead birds in our front yard, death threats, our bank accounts frozen. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Boomer Jacks, Hooters, you know, everybody else is packed asses to elbows. And getting handshakes and high fives for it. In fact, they're showing a 70% increase in sales. We didn't get the SBA grant. We didn't get the PPP loans. We didn't get any of that of it. We were all, and when I say all, I mean all 51% for the most part, were all overlooked for all of this. No assistance. So we have to pay our mortgages, we have to pay our leases, our utilities, our bills, things like that. They even dragged me into court for being 4 weeks behind on child support.
Really?
Yes, $400. Yes, they charged me with punitive contempt, in which they said it was my responsibility to continue paying. I 100% agree. My kids more or less live with me. And we're not drawing checks right now. They're getting cash, right? So they said I was still responsible for it. However, it's like, you closed down my business, right? It's like, I didn't quit. I didn't walk away. You closed it down. So it's amazing to see the level of persecution that comes with standing up, as well as the lengths they will go to shut you up, especially when you're right. So the food and beverage thing has made the state of Texas millions and millions and millions of dollars. And the reason why they never opened us back up fully was literally because we were not impacting tax revenue anymore.
Yeah.
So like I said, everyone
you
just
weren't
wants someplace
profitable to
else.
them.
Right.
You weren't compliant. They used that, but ultimately you weren't profitable to them.
Right. And so the difference is, I mean, you see, God bless Shelley Luther. She's a good buddy and a hell of a fighter too. But if you see the difference between her and I is we're the undesirables. We're the disposables. You know, we're throwing concerts and selling alcohol and things like that, and we're just natural. I mean, you got to understand where we're at. We're in the great state of Texas. I'm a God-fearing man myself. But politicians think that we're in the sin biz, right? So it's easy just to throw us away and be able to roll your eyes. But we're also the only industry that survives off of the human element. Yeah. So, yeah, it has been hell.
And that's the deal. We're going to take a break in a second, but we've had Shelley on the show numerous times. Shelley's a good friend. And you're right in that regard, because they look at you and they say, oh, well, you guys are expendable. We don't need you guys. Forget the fact that it alternates between number 2 and number 3 biggest product in Texas is tourism. Tourism thrives off of venues like your own.
Absolutely.
And we're going to talk about some more of that stuff. But you think Texas is open? It ain't open, folks. People are getting hosed. Hey, let me do this. What if I told you that you could improve your health, boost your energy, and support a healthy heart in less than 2 minutes per day? Field of Greens, my favorite thing out there, unlike any other superfood because it uses real USDA organic fruits and vegetables packed with antioxidants. Field of Greens can support heart health. Can't make you speak any better. Metabolism, blood pressure, digestion, plus it's pre and probiotic. It's great for everyone in your family, old, young. Your athletes in the house need it. Make Field of Greens part of your daily routine. It's super simple. Just put a scoop of it in a glass of water, stir it up, drink it, you're done. And unlike other nutritional drinks, which rely on only one vegetable, well, Field of Greens is packed with 18 clinically researched essential fruits and vegetables, plus green tea, ginger, turmeric, and beets. I want you to go to brickhousechad.com. Brickhousechad.com. Get 15% off your first order with the promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad at checkout. That's brickhousechad.com. It's the easiest and fastest way to start living a healthier life. It's available in original, wild berry, and now lemon lime. Brickhousechad.com. Use promo code Chad. We'll be right back. So we talk about, shutting venues down and places that are bars, places that have live music. Steve Helms, you felt the pain of that.
I did.
I mean, that's one of those things where you can't go to work anymore.
You can't. Me personally, we put it out there. The booking agent did. The venues are closed. We'll come to your house. We'll come to your ranch. Yeah. And me personally, I stayed okay and busy. But band members, sound guys, lighting guys, there's a whole crew.
Yeah.
That, you don't take those guys with you. So there's tons of people in our industry that didn't get to work, man.
Yeah. See, if you go to watchchad.com and check out our store, we put a shirt out there that says Support 51, and people didn't know what that meant. This is what we're talking about. We want the proceeds from that to go to help folks like Chris, because Chris, you're continually in these. You're in a winning battle, but it's an expensive battle.
Absolutely. That's the problem that we face as citizens in Texas now, is when the government violates your rights verbatim on national television and continues to do so. 6 of my 27 constitutional amendment rights have been violated because of this. When that happens, the government doesn't just apologize to you, and they don't try to make it right. Instead, they try to persecute you to the nth degree to get you to back off. And it costs you $250,000 just to scratch the surface of what needs to be done. They're going to drag it out as long as they possibly can. They're going to hit you with everything they got. They're going to make life a living hell for you, and they've done a very good job at that. Just unfortunately for them, I have little man syndrome, and I know when I'm right. It's validating, if you will. But yes, I mean we are. That's the only thing that we are lacking at this point is the funds to keep it going.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm on tour right now, going around city to city all throughout the state of Texas, shaking hands, kissing babies, like you said. Yeah. It's amazing how you steal my lines like that. And I talk
just
like
don't
that.
Shake the baby.
Just don't.
Yeah.
But that's what we're doing. We're trying to do everything we can to raise money for it. The problem is, man, we live in a society where it's more people stand up for self-gain as opposed to principle, and it's our duty as Americans to stand up for everyone's unalienable rights. Right? If the Texas Alcoholic Beverages Commission defines anybody with an alcohol permit as an outstanding citizen. Yeah. So if they're willing to violate 6 of my 27 constitutional amendment rights, then they're going to do it to you.
Yeah.
You know, they'd find me as an outstanding citizen.
Yeah.
They're going to do it to you.
And that's the thing. So you take the TABC, and I put a post on Facebook a couple of weeks ago where I said abolish TABC. It's got to be abolished. It needs to go away. Turn it over to the Regulatory Commission of Texas. People's like, well, somebody has to monitor. Well, that ain't what the TABC does. The TABC does exactly what they're doing to you.
Yes.
They're the ones who are making the money off of these liquor licenses and things like that. And then if you don't comply exactly according to them, they just shut your whole life down.
Oh yeah, and they'll follow you home, and they'll put 15 agents in your bar and put you in kill boxes, things like that. The problem with the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission is they are, and I have no shame in saying this, they're a domestic terrorist organization. Is literally what they are. They operate a lot like other enforcement agencies in the state of Texas. They can operate off of opinion. If they don't like you, you know, there's literally codes in there that if you're acting immorally or whatever, they don't have to renew your license. You know, things like that. So if they don't like you, they could screw you over big time. On top of that, let's go back to Shelley Luther real quick. She answers to TDLR, you know, pencil pushers in Austin. We answer to the third largest state agency in the state of Texas that come in there with guns, tasers, flak jackets, block your doors and exits. And if you do any homework on the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, they're always getting busted for corruption.
Right.
Always. You know, it wasn't too long ago.
And it's not a hard Google search either, guys.
It's not. It's not.
Google abolish TABC. You'll come up with some interesting
Is that
facts.
because they get paid off to let certain places operate?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much for saying that.
Oh, yeah. I'll say I don't care.
So in 2016, 2017, TABC's board of directors had to resign, okay, because they were using all of our tax dollars to go on these exotic trips that they were calling conventions, right? They got busted. They had to resign. Greg Abbott decides to put Kevin J. Lilly as a chairman of the TABC, right? Here's the problem with Kevin. Kevin also owns the largest privately owned wealth management company in the great state of Texas, okay? This guy has a master's degree in business, has never done law enforcement in his entire life, yet he's in charge of the third largest, most powerful state agency in the state, right? You guys see the problem here? If that means if that man invests $1 into any businesses that manufactures, distributes, promotes, sells alcohol at all, that's a conflict of interest, and they need to hang him high, right? That's literally mafioso tactics right there. That is the mafia right there. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense why a man that's worth $8 billion would be interested in running the TABC. Why would that? Just like Mark Cuban wanting to be the head of the Highway Patrol. That makes no sense unless it's to protect his own self-interest. Right? And no one wants to talk about that. No one wants to look into that. When you say things like that, people just kind of sweep it underneath the rug. No, that's ground-shaking information. You know, and it's just amazing how the good old boy system is kind of what we're after. We have not been fighting the government at all throughout this entire thing, by the way.
No,
we've been fighting Teamsters. That's what this is. People are making lots and lots of money off of this. Executive Order GA-17, signed back in April 2020, where Greg Abbott made this COVID-19 strike force, if you will. It's made up of 39 members, and most of them are corporate heads or lobbyists, right? Like Tillman Frieda, you know, owns all the Outbacks and things like that, right? The Rainforest Cafes and stuff. Did you see any of those businesses go under at all? None of those guys took a hit whatsoever. So what I'm getting at is you have 39 corporate heads literally assisting the government in infrastructure, public safety, how to reopen businesses, healthcare, things like that. That makes no sense whatsoever. It is literally hard, cold cash is what is at the root of every bit of this.
Yeah,
telling me it's corrupt.
Especially when their profits went up 70%.
Through the roof.
Yeah.
Through the roof. I mean, and unfortunately, it's worse than that. You got to think about it in another aspect, too. Bars have always been the epicenter of every revolution or a significant moment in history, right? You got the Sons of Liberty, right? That's the reason why we're all sitting here today as somewhat free men, is because they literally went from tavern to tavern to tavern to spread the word because the press was doing the complete opposite.
That's right. That's why tomorrow in Austin, we'll be at Whiskey Tango Foxtrot at noon.
That's why.
And it's a 51% bar.
Marine Corps was founded in Ton Tavern.
Yes.
That's right.
I mean, Teddy Roosevelt did the same thing down in San Antonio with the Rough Riders. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. You know, you guys, I 100% agree with what you said about the election fraud and things like that. Everyone wanted to know why they shut the VFWs down. Why couldn't the VFWs go? Right? And The last thing they want any of us doing is all getting together and having conversations like we're having right now. Yeah. I mean, it's clear as day. I got to speak with Dan West throughout this thing. He's the commander of the VFWs in the state of Texas. He's tongue-tied. His hands are tied. He can't, and I'm just a bar owner, so I can do and say things that he cannot.
Yeah.
So with that said, he had sent multiple letters to the TABC, multiple letters to Greg Abbott, no response, except from the TABC. The TABC said they could surrender the liquor license and they could allow the veterans back on property. So that's how disgusting this entire thing is. It's the same American heroes, brave men and women that went and fought, gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms to protect our government, got kicked out by the same government they fought to go protect.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You guys have got to pay attention to what's going on. If you're listening to this, you're watching this, support these 51 percenters. Support them. You can buy a T-shirt from us. Proceeds will go. Help guys like Chris fight the court, fight in court, and go to Rail Club. Go to their shows. Go to one of their tour shows. Get out there. Support live entertainment. Support bars. Support these places. You know why I don't get sick? I drink alcohol. I drink the sanitizer. That's why I don't get sick. Thank God for it. Jesus turned water into wine, people. Come on. Give me a break. First miracle.
It's been tested on millions and millions of people over thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
And that's what this was about.
I mean, and we're in a revolution, guys. I mean, we are. It is, proverbial shots have been fired. And we're sticking our head in the sand and we're not dealing with it. I appreciate you dealing with it. Hang tight real quick, and we're going to come right back with Chris. People need to get involved. I want them to get involved. Rail Club, Fort Worth, Texas. Chris Pallone. Look him up. He's not hard to find. You can follow him on social media as well and kind of see what's going on. Your Facebook, dude, you don't pull any punches, and I like that.
No, because I mean, and I get some help for that sometimes, but they took over our properties, man. Like when they screw with you, I mean, there's nothing to be nice about with this entire thing. Yeah. And if you are interested in following more about it, we have a group on Facebook called the Children of Liberty. Yep. It's 23,000 members strong right now, and it's still going. Yeah. Because it's not over yet. Yeah. I mean, it's still going. People think since everything's reopened that it's just, everything's okay. No,
it's not.
Yeah, that was a question of mine this morning. I was talking to the guys, and I said, I kind of thought it was over too, but this kind of, shines some light on.
That's the problem with the justice system out here is it's going to take a year, So by the time it's out of the media, we're just now going to court for what happened back in July, and like I said before, there's dragging it out. So they're being shut down for so long and it's being financially starved out and having to pay the legal bills and all that. It's a lot. Yeah, it is a lot.
Children of Liberty. Follow them on Facebook. I'm a member of that group, and I'm always. I mean, look, this campaign that I'm running, that's where I get my information is from guys like you. I don't give a shit what they're saying in Austin, Texas, because they're going with the highest bidder. I want to find out from people who have boots on the ground who are dealing with it, because that's real life. That's where it's at. Show some support. Go over to watchchad.com, and that's where all the fun stuff is. And go check us out over there. And Chris, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, brother.
We could talk about this all day long, but we've got some evil amongst us.
We do.
We really do. And praying for you, man. Appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate the stand that you've made. And we're there. I mean, to whatever degree we can help, we're there, man. I mean, unless it costs us money. We're not into that. But I appreciate you. And appreciate those of you watching. I want you to go to blazetv.com/Chad. Sign up. Use promo code CPS for a discount on there. And make sure that you are a part of the Blaze TV family. We want you to go wherever podcasts are offered and give us a 5-star rating and review. Say good things about us. Tell Natalie you missed her and you're glad she's back, and she sure is cute.
Were you out?
Yeah. But we love y'all. God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. Bye.
Thank you.